Hey, back here, what are we? Coon Prairie Ramblers, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask you a little something about Coon Prairie Rambler.
Yeah.
What kind of DNA does a Coon Prairie Rambler have?
You wouldn't want to know.
Could you be tested and
I want
be told that you were a Coon Prairie Rambler?
Yeah, you got some CPR in your blood there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? You see a lot of advertisements on TV today.
Yeah.
That's right.
About DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting you to send in and have your DNA tested so they can tell you what your ethnicity is, what your background is, find your long-lost cousins or your... And sometimes people find out... I saw one of... They were a woman found out she had a half-brother she knew nothing about.
Yeah.
And all things like that. But they're a big fundraiser for different organizations and
Good ones?
well, not good or bad, but you know who the biggest genealogy group is in the world?
Mormons.
The Mormons.
Yeah.
And the Ancestry.com that you see on these ads is owned by part of the Mormons.
I think they gave me some bad information.
Oh, you had yours tested?
He just didn't agree with us what it is.
But I filled in some blanks, and gave them a little bit of information. And they said, oh, this person is probably related to... And well, I made the mistake of thinking, oh, well, they know. And so I hit the download, and okay, that person's in my genealogy. And I got to thinking, wait a minute. Because I do have, some paperwork that my mother worked on. I'm thinking, that guy's not in there.
You never know.
They gave me a bum stare, and I went down.
Well, there's two sides of your
I
family.
couldn't get it out of there.
That's
There's
right.
two sides to your family. Actually, 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My wife has a theory. She thinks that DNA, when people are submitting all this DNA trying to find out their ancestry, she thinks Big Brother is the one that's really gathering it. And when you submit it, it goes into a database so they can connect you with somebody or solve a crime or something.
Well, you wonder.
That's not a bad idea.
Could
if you're not guilty?
Could they subpoena? Because, like I say, Ancestry.com is the biggest one that does vault, and that is the Mormons. And they have a vault that is full of genealogy. But that goes back to the fact that they used to, and I don't know if they still do or not, when you joined the Mormon church, you could be baptized for your great-grandfather that wasn't saved and get him into heaven. But nowadays, that's a false doctrine. And I said it.
Okay.
But anyhow,
I agreed.
But anyhow, right now, what they're doing, it's kind of very misleading to me. Not to me, but it's misleading other people because I know the difference. But they say, okay, well, you can find out that your ancestry is 25% Italian, 25% Scottish, part of your family come from Swahili, and part of them come from Australia.
Yeah.
They can't tell you.
Right.
They said there's markers in your DNA.
Yeah.
And those markers might go along with somebody that was of a certain descent.
Right.
But that does not mean, like somebody says, oh, yeah, I'm 25% Italian. They can't tell you that your blood is 25%
also,
Italian.
There's another misleading thing. There's two worlds of thoughts on where the human race began. You have your evolutional thought, and
what about the creationism?
Your creationist thought.
Yep.
They're in two different places. One says we came from Lucy down in the Central Africa,
or Lucy,
and one says
some
we
came to do.
One says we came from the land of Ur, in Mesopotamia. Okay,
that's where the power. Okay, the land of Ar.
One I don't know where they lie. And they may,
somebody's lying.
If you go to YouTube and watch, they've figured out that this guy came from Mongolia. His marker is okay, and then you listen closely. They're talking about thinking that civilization began in Central Africa,
the cradle of civilization.
So, if it comes down to that, there's maybe a misleading thing there.
Yeah, well, then it goes right back to what I said. They cannot tell you exactly what you are.
Yeah.
They can tell you there are markers.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what those markers are but basically just things that are similar to somebody from Italy that has these same markers in their blood. But they cannot tell you that, oh, yes, you're 25% Native American, or you have Spanish blood or Mexican or whatever you're from. They can't tell you that. I mean, they can tell you that but they make it look like, and people are doing it, oh, well, I want to find out what I am.
And
they
they'll believe the
do
first
that.
thing they hear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm Swahili,
I think
right.
the best thing to do is just do like they did in the old days. You just can't. You go find the records. Now, my mother tried to do that, and she went to the courthouse of Putnam County, West Virginia, but unfortunately, she could only trace it back to a certain point because the courthouse in Putnam, West Virginia, burnt down at one point.
Yeah.
And there went the records.
My sister's real big into genealogy, and on parts of our ancestry, it's real easy to trace back to like pre-1700s, pre-United States. I mean, it goes way back.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that there's a little bit of hanky-panky went on, You don't know.
Well, chances are, if you can,
odds are, you might have had a great-grandfather that wasn't really your great-great-grandfather.
If you can trace it back to...
He might have thought he was and raised you.
The further you can trace it back, say to the 1700s or something like that, they tend to be a little bit more, keep it in line,
Right, but if that person, like he's saying, was not your great-great-grandfather, you don't know that, so you start tracing his family, and you're off on a rabbit trail, as you never come back from.
I think that's what that organization did to me. They say, oh, this guy's probably in your lineage. So I'm thinking, oh, yeah.
Well, what they want you to do is pay for more.
Yeah, right.
And more, and because they had those. Oh, I got a flag, a feather, or whatever. And I looked in, and I'm sure that you got to pay extra to find out what that means. So, but did you know?
Oh,
did you know? This is the factoid of the day.
Have mercy.
The first
Lay it on me.
use of DNA in criminal work resulted in someone being found not guilty
That's a
of
good
a crime.
thing.
What a real good
Was
thing.
it very far long ago? Back in the 50s, 60s?
Oh no! Well, DNA is very new.
Yeah.
I mean, very, very.
I wish
new.
they'd have had it years ago. But
No, but
it's like fingerprints. They didn't come along until later than most people realize.
Yeah, they come along because two guys, were almost identical. Their looks, their everything about them, their names, everything. They were like twins.
Yeah, they could have found Jack the Ripper if they had had it earlier.
Oh,
it's possible.
But
the Boston
but the
Strangler.
DNA has been used in both ways to find out that somebody did commit a crime, and also to find out that someone didn't, and which is good. And a lot of people love to say, "Oh, everybody in prison is not guilty." There are people in prison that are not guilty of the crime of which they were convicted, and the judicial system is very hesitant to admit that somebody might have been wrongfully
They don't want to
convicted. They don't want to
admit that.
They hate to, and but sometimes DNA is proved, beyond a doubt. But they're learning more and more every day about DNA. There's different types of DNA. No, there's one type of DNA, but there's different ways that.
Are you going to take that DNA test?
No, I'd love to.
Yeah,
but not because I want to see what I was, because I pretty well know. But I would like to see if they try to throw me a little curveball. Right. How close they get. 'Cause basically I'm half English and half Native American.
Yeah.
But we need to go pay some bills.
Wonder what DNA stands for. That's an acronym?
Do not.
Diroxynucleic acid.
Oh, go Mel. He's making that up.
I was close to it.
He's making that up. Well, we're down to 30 seconds now, so we're going to have to take our DNA and get on out of here. For now, we'll be right back in the short with the...
I was close, wasn't I?
If-bomb. I think he was close, like a horseshoe or a hand grenade. We'll be back in the short with the if-bomb. Y'all stay put.